Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the Grey. Today's video we're going to talk start collecting Warhammer Age of Sigmar, and today we're going to take a look at the Stormcast Eternals and their half of the Extremis starter set. Now in this video we're going to look at how we can use this particular box set to start an army in the current season of Warhammer Age of Sigmar in Andtor. We'll look at all the models that come inside the box set before talking a little bit about them and how they work on the tabletop, and then after that we'll look at some other units we can use to expand upon the initial purchase here. We'll then finally finish off the video with a little sample army list of 1,000 points for you to use, hopefully as some inspiration for starting your own force of the Stormcast Eternals in Warhammer Age of Sigmar in Andtor. And so, to begin with, first of all, this box set is led by a Lord Imperator. Lord Imperators are the commanders of the Stormcast Eternals. They're sort of leading and dictating the flow of battle on the table. And so, first of all, we have a standard sort of profile for Stormcast characters, Blessed Warhammer with 4 attacks at 3s and 3s, round 1 damage 2, and another few attacks coming from the Vicious Beak and Claws from his little Griff Hound companion. You've also got a small ranged attack of D6 attacks at 3s and 3s, round 1 damage 1 from his Stormcaller Baton. Now, you then have the Distinguished Leader ability, where once per turn, this unit can issue a command without a command point being spent, so really good on your CP usage. And Guided by Lightning allows you to once per turn bring down a Stormcast Eternals unit that is a Thunderstrike unit within 7 inch from the Heralds of the Storm ability, instead of 9 inch away, so it can really make sure you're getting in those important charges. Now, joining our Lord Imperator, we then have 5 Vindictors. These are a battle line unit, 2 wounds apiece, 3+ save. You've got Storm Spears on them, which are a 2-inch range for 2 attacks at 3s and 3s, round 1 damage 1. And then you've got the Storm Soul Arsenal as well, where each unmodified hit roll for a 6 in melee will do a mortal wound and the attack sequence will end. So some nice little bit of additional damage. The unit can also take the standard bearer, which is the Azurite Signifier, and this adds +1 bravery to the unit, giving them a grand total of 8 bravery when these models are in the unit still. The last unit we have inside this particular set is the unit of Praetors. These are a really interesting unit to bring for your Stormcast Eternals, and their job is pretty much keeping your characters alive. They have 3 wounds each with a 3+ save, and they've got their Soul Guard Halberd as well for 3 attacks at 3s and 3s, round 1 damage 2, so no slouches in combat at all. The big thing here, though, is their Soulforge Guardians ability, where at the start of the first battle round, before determining who has the first turn, you pick a friendly Stormcast Eternals hero on the battlefield to which this unit will be bound. The same hero, though, can't have more than 1 unit of Praetors bound to them, but before you allocate a wound or mortal wound to that hero, or instead of making a ward roll for such a thing allocated to that hero, if that hero is within 3 inches of this unit, you can roll a die. On a 1 to 2, the mortal wound is allocated to the hero as normal. On a 3 to 4, that wound or mortal wound is allocated to this unit instead. Or on a 5 to 6, the mortal wound or wound is just negated entirely, as the Praetors protect everyone. Today's video is brought to you by Gap Games, a fantastic retailer in Australia for a variety of different miniature war games. If you'd like to help support the channel, we have an affiliate link where by clicking on and purchasing, you'll help support the channel, but you'll also help support Gap Games, which is a fantastic servant to the community. And so, where to go to next? In the current season of Warhammer Age of Sigmar, we definitely want to look at bringing in some Andorian locusts to our force, and the Stormcast Eternals have quite a few fun options. The first of these that we're going to look at is going to be the Thunderstrike Wizard itself. The reason we're looking at this is you do have the options to bring it in with Silence of the Storm 7 inch away, if that's something you need to do, but other than that, it also is a really cheap option as well to bring into your force, and this is, of course, the Knight Arcanum. Now, the Knight Arcanum has 6 wounds, which is pretty nice with that 3+ save as well, 1 cast and 1 unbind wizard. And you've got the Undomitable Lawseeker's ability, where predatory endless spells cannot pass across this unit or finish a move within 3 inches of this unit. Blaze of the Heavens is its spell, and this allows you to pick an enemy unit within range invisible to the caster, and they'll suffer D3 mortal wounds. You also add 2 to the range of the spell for each other friendly Stormcast Eternal Thunderstrike unit wholly within 12 inch of the caster as well. Now, the next wizard we've got is probably the best option we have for an Andorian Locust inside the Stormcast Eternals, and that is the Knight Incantor. 5 wounds and a 3+ save with a 1 cast and 1 unbind profile. You've got the Void Storm Scroll, and this is the big thing about the Knight Incantor here. This is going to allow you to, once per game, automatically dispel an enemy spell without needing to roll. You just simply go, nope, Void Storm Scroll, that is gone. You've also got Spirit Storm, which is your War Scroll spell. If successfully cast, you subtract 1 from 1 uncharged rolls for enemy units within range, which is an 8-inch range, which is really nice. And you've also got your Incantor stuff in there for 3 attacks at 3s and 3s, run 1 damage 2, which is a decent wizard offensive profile in all honesty. Now, we are going to want to look at a unit that the Lord Imperator can bring down that really is going to make the most of his abilities, and that, of course, is going to be Annihilators. Annihilators are an offensive unit we have access to for the Stormcast Eternals. They have 2 different profiles, so you could either go with the Annihilators with shields and hammers, which will be 3 wounds each and a 2+ save. Their big thing is having 3 attacks with a Meteoric Hammer at 3s and 3s, run 1 damage 2, or you can go for the Grand Hammers, slightly more expensive, but you're going to go to a 3+ save rather than the 2+, and then also have your Meteor Grand Hammers to be Ren -2 and damage 3. Now, both versions of the Annihilators will have Blazing Impact, where after this unit is set up on the battlefield for the first time, you roll a dice for each enemy unit within 10 inch, and on a 3+, those units will take D3 mortal wounds. In addition to this, you can get rerolls to charges innately for the unit, which is really nice. This, combined with the fact that your Lord Imperator on the slide before can make them drop within 7, can be a really nice combo. Force Like a Falling Star is a ability as well that allows them to do a decent amount of mortal wounds on the turn in which they charge. Now, lastly, for the Stormcast Eternals, we have their Endless Spells, and they actually do have a nice variety of Endless Spells available to them. First of all, we have the Celestian Vortex, or the Hammer Cyclone. Now, this is a predatory Endless Spell, can move up to 8 inch and fly. Storm of Vengeance means you roll a amount of dice of 12 dice. For each 6 does a mortal wound, and this will happen to a single unit that has been passed across by this Endless Spell when it's moved. And Tornado of Magic will mean you subtract 1 from hit rolls for attacks made with missile weapons by units within 6 inches of the Endless Spell as well. You then have the Deus Arcanum, which is effectively a little mount that pops up for your wizard. This will give them a move of 12 and the fly ability. You'll also be able to unbind an extra spell while you're mounted upon this, and you subtract 1 from hit rolls for targeting you while you're mounted upon it as well. Lastly, we have the Everblazed Comet, which is an endless spell that just comes down from the heavens. It doesn't move once it's down, but it does continue to pulse. This does some mortal wounds, and it also has the Arcane Disruption ability, where it'll subtract 1 from casting rolls for enemy wizards within 10 inch of it. And so here we have our sample army list. Now, we've gone for playing with Signs of the Storm with this particular Stormcast Eternals list. I think when you've got things like the Lord Imperator and his abilities that he has access to, you're going to want to play Signs of the Storm, as he can really help with the coming down from the heavens. Now, we've gone for Hammers of Sigmar as our sub-faction. This is a really solid sub-faction in the current season where magic is going to be prevalent. You've got mortal wounds coming out of everywhere. You're going to be able to have a 6-up ward against any attacks that come into you while you are wholly within 12 inch of a single objective. Though this does mean you have to be within 12 inch of a single objective. It doesn't work if you're, say, wholly within 12 inch of objectives, but it is 2 objectives across. It must be the same one. Now, we've got the Grand Strategy, Pillars of Victory. This means the only battle line units left on the table at the end of the game can be our Vindictors, and this ties into probably what I would do for the Holy Command with the Force in going for Call for Aid, which allows you to bring one of these units of Vindictors back once per game. We then have our Lord Imperator as our first leader, and he's got the Obsidian Amulet, where once per game this model can ignore the effects of a spell or endless spell targeting it. We then have our Knight Incantor with Merciless Blizzard, a great way just to do a ton of mortal wounds. And then our Knight Arcanum is our general. Just the extra wound over the Incantor is the reason it's the general. It's just a little bit more survivable there. But then we've got the command trait Eye of the Blizzard as well, where we potentially can get some extra of the primal magic dice. And the spell Celestial Blades on this model allows us to give +1 to wound. For battle line, we have 2 units of 5 Vindictors with their Azerite Signifiers and Vindictor Primes, and then other units we have the 3 Praetors and 3 Annihilators with Meteoric Grand Hammers. Lastly, with the last 20 points in the Force, we've gone for the Deus Arcanum. This is going to allow us to give one of the wizards some extra movement. This can be really useful in the end, as late game, if you can get this off, it can make your wizards very versatile in how you want to move them across the table, but also the extra dispel that you can get from it can always come in handy. If you've got some ideas, though, on how you'd build up your Stormcast Eternals using the Extremis starter set for the current season of Warhammer Age of Sigmar, let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And so that is the end of the video. We hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our great little community we have here at Sinful Gaming, we have a Discord server which is linked down in the video's description. Also linked down in the video's description are the best ways to help support the channel, be that via Patreon or YouTube members, or by grabbing yourself some merch, whether that's stickers, t-shirt, mugs, or anything from our Teespring store as well, or by using our affiliate links, which are also linked down in the description as well, that go a long way to helping support the channel. As a special thank you to all our Patreons and YouTube members, we'd like to give you all a shout out. So thank you to Andy C, Grimskull, Colorblind Magic, Iron Grinch, Benjamin Swallows, James Cater, Mark Harvey, Domir, Average Wargamer, JJ Austrian, Cure Dynamic, Andrew Bowen, Alderin Shot First, Kendall, Soren, Green Roots Gaming, Ronya, Lockloric, The Johnny84, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Monty's Tabletop Terrain, James Tillman, Disco, John Castle, and Gargamel196. Thank you all so much for helping support the channel. It means the absolute world to us. Please do not forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Once again, everyone, stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the grey. Ciao for now.